intro video. All right, salam alaikum. How's everybody doing? This is Islamic House of Israel, and tomorrow is the first day of Ramadan. So, okay, I fixed it. I actually had it planned. All right, so today's lesson is Galileans, the men and women who followed Isa. Salam alaikum, Noor. How's everything going?
Walaikum salam, going pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty
Assalamu
good.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So this topic is a topic that everybody should study, especially if you are a Christian, because during that time, a lot of stuff was going on, a lot of confusion happened. The real followers of Isa, you really don't know who they are. You really don't know where they're from. You're going to see, when I explain this, you're going to see it's a bunch of mix-up going on, a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of Christians today don't really know the true followers of Isa. And, they were really kind of like in the background, low key, All right, so how you doing, Noah? Hello?
Hello, doing well.
Yeah. Do you know a lot about Isa's Sahaba?
I know a little bit about them, not a lot.
Okay. All right. We're gonna learn today. And we're
Oh, right.
gonna learn a little bit about Paul as well. This is gonna be real interesting. All right, get
Okay,
a link.
awesome.
All right, and it's gonna all tie in with the Quran so you can actually read the Quran better. When you read people of the book and Jews and Christians, you'll understand exactly what it's talking about. All right. So here we go. Look at this. Everybody look at this map. This is the map right here. This is what you need to see. You see Galilee, you see Samaria, you see Judea. All right. Those are the three regions that we're going to talk about. All right. Let's do it. Well, a lot of people think that Isa's followers are Jews, and they are Nazarenes. But you're going to see today that we all got it kind of wrong. All right. His followers were Galileans. Look at the map. Look up here. You see up here in the top? That's the Galilee. That's the Sea of Galilee right here. That's where most of his followers came from. Way down here is Judea, Jerusalem. And in the middle, we're going to learn about this place today as well. But his followers live way up here in this sea. All right. So, no, you help me read. I ain't gonna have you read everything. We ain't gonna go crazy, but just read one or two.
Okay, John 1:44. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter.
All right, so
John,
let's find it. Oh, it's kind of small. Where is it? It's right here up here. That's where Andrew and Peter, that's Philip, that's where they came from, right here. Not way down here in Jerusalem. They came from way up here. Fishermen. Keep going.
there were together Simon, Peter, and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee.
That's right here. And then a lot of his followers came from, read the next one.
Matthew 4:13 says Jesus dwelt in Capernaum, and Peter had a house there.
So Peter had two houses. He had one in Capernaum, and a lot of people right there, everybody. When Isa went there, they loved him there. Like really. He got most of his followers right up in here. All right. So this is where, not even down here. So they spoke Aramaic, and they spoke a Galilean Aramaic dialect. Just like I'm from the South and I'm country, it's kind of like that. So the people from Judea, that's where all the Levites, that's where all the Judah, that's where all the temple is at. That's where all the, uppity people, all the uppity people live here. This is where it goes down. All right. Up here, it's country. Nothing comes out of Nazareth, countryside. So now you're seeing with Isa, when he's teaching, he's gonna teach here. And then he gonna bring all his people down here, and they gonna be like, man, you from Nazareth. Like, you ain't even from here. So that's gonna be an issue as well. Like, what is this dude doing? He's a little country bumpkin. All right. Let's keep going. Do read a little bit more.
Luke 8:2, and certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils, Mary
All right.
of Magdala,
Yep.
Galilee.
All right. So Magdala is right here. Galilee. Right here. All these people came from here. Galilee. All right. That's the Sea of Galilee. So these are Galileans. That's Nazareth. Now, Nazareth. So Isa was, according to the story, Isa was born in Bethlehem and then he was raised in Nazareth. So they call him Jesus of Nazareth. But them calling him Jesus of Nazareth got a lot of things twisted. Let me show you how I got it twisted. All right. Well, let's get into this and then we'll jump back to Nazareth. All right, read that real quick.
Matthew 10:5, 6. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans. Enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
All right, so the lost sheep of the house of Israel, they was all around here. They was in Judea. They was over here.
Are you pointing?
Oh, yeah, I'm pointing. I'm actually pointing. Oh, can't see the point?
No.
All right, so can y'all see the screen?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
definitely see the screen.
You read it. All right, there was in Peria, right? Peria. Dang, y'all ain't see none of my pointing. But y'all can see the places, right, when I'm talking?
Yes, we can definitely see the map, but I just wanted to let you know we can't see your pointer.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so you see Magdala, you see Nazareth, you see that? You see
Yes, up at the top.
Peria. All right. So that's a lot of his followers came. He went there. And then if you keep going down lower, you'll hit Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's where Prophet Muhammad was at. So you see he's very close to the people of the book. All right, so this is the story. Now, he said, do not go into the way of the Samaritans. See that? Do not go in the way of the Samaritans. I might have spelled that wrong. All right, he said, do not go in the way of the Samaritans. Let's see who they are, so we can see who's everybody. All right, so the split. After Solomon died, Israel split. All right, everybody know the story of Solomon. He was building those temples, for his women, and the Most High got mad at him, and he didn't take the kingdom from him, but he said he was going to split the kingdom in two. He split the kingdom in two, so that's why you have a northern kingdom of Israel, and you have a southern kingdom of Judah, which is called Judea. For the kingdom of Judah, it's not only Judah there. You got Benjamin, you got Levite, and you got Judah, and then you got Israelites that moved down there. All right. And then you have the 10 tribes at the top. All right, so they split. The north started worshiping idols and stuff, acting a fool. Most High sent the Assyrians. See that? They sent the Assyrians to come conquer the north. When they conquered the kingdom of Israel, the north, they scattered them, got rid of them, scattered most of them. All right. And then they brought foreigners from Babylon and placed them in the middle right there. That's why you didn't mess with the Samaritans like that, because there wasn't Israelites, or some of them were kind of mixed and stuff like that. So that's why they say the Good Samaritan and stuff. Judah ain't really mess with them like that. They didn't mess with them like that. All right.
So they were foreigners.
They were foreigners that was placed there by the Assyrians. Syrians took over. They placed them there, right there in the middle, and they're probably still there today. They're probably called Palestinians, but I ain't
Mm,
gonna. But there are some people that claim to be them, and they
mm.
live in the same area. They go to that same mountain, and they worship at that same mountain, and they probably are them, but they're like Palestinians. So that's one foreign group that was there. All right. So now when we know who's everybody, then when you read the Quran, you'll know who Allah is talking to. You're like, oh, I get it. I know who they are. All right. All right. So Judea, Samaria, and then you got Galilee. This is where Isa was, far away from Judea. They walked a lot. All right.
Mm.
All right. So here are the people. Well, here's the people. Here are the people that claim to be the ancient Sumerians.
Mm.
Those are the people, and they live there still today.
Okay.
Yep, they claim to be. I believe they are. But you see right here, here's the you ain't got to read it. Second Kings, just see. This is where the people came from. The Syrian king put them right there in the middle, and the population grew and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what happened to them.
So it's like a people split between even more between northern Israel and southern Israel
Yep.
by
Exactly.
bringing
That's
those
why.
folks in the middle.
Yep. That's why you don't like. That's why you don't like worship idols and stuff. Solomon did that, and it was a big thorn ever since.
And now up in the north,
Mhm.
a lot of the Israelites were after they Babylon invaded them, they were kind of dispersed. Is that what
Yeah,
happened to the northerners?
they was scattered. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
was taken into slavery and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then they had little escape routes where they'll go over to the over here in the you can't see it. They will go to the desert, where Ishmaelites are. They always
Mm-hmm.
had their little escape routes, and then some of them just scattered. Some of them went
Gotcha.
further north and all that stuff. And some of them went down to Judea.
Okay.
All right, but that was like a long time ago. And
And
then
that's pretty
then
much all of the tribes except for the three.
yep. Mm-hmm. But remember, we Judea's people think Judea is Judah, but Judea is Levi too, and it's
Right.
Benjamin. Yep. Now that's we'll talk about this. So now you got Judea. That's where you get the nickname Jew from. That's where you get the nickname Jew from. So was Easter a Jew? No, he was Galilean. He was Galilean. So that's a nickname. Like if you was Judea or Jew, then that means you come from Judea.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So, um, during that time, during Esa's time,
Mhm.
the folks who were in Judea, that's what they were called, Jews.
Eventually, they got the nickname. No, they were Judeans, and then eventually, I'm gonna show you what happened. I'm gonna show you what happened.
Okay.
There's a lot of crazy stuff. All right, let's see, Samaria. Okay, so here we go. Read that real quick. Read that real quick. Read that real quick. Now, this is
So
all hadiths, but this is history. This is history. This is not. I'm just teaching you wording. Is history. It's okay. All
okay.
right.
Luke 9:51, and it came to pass when the time was come that he should be received up. He steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem and sent messengers before his face. And they went and entered a village of the Samaritans to make ready for him. And they did not receive him because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem.
Yeah, so you got to go through Samaria. You got to go through. Now he did heal a lady there. He
Mhm.
wasn't Issa was not mean, nothing like that. If they wanted to talk, he'll sit down and talk to him. It was all good. He wasn't just mean. Now Judea was mean. They wouldn't even talk. They wouldn't eat. They wouldn't mess with him at all. But Issa would talk to him, and he healed one of them. But he wasn't. He was going straight for Jerusalem. He wasn't trying to And he did stay there for 2 days. But if you traveling 40-50 miles, you know he wasn't kissing a butt or nothing like that, but he wasn't disrespectful. All right, here's a conversation. Read that real quick. Thank you so
Jo-
much thank you. Go ahead.
John 4:19-20. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
You see that? The
Jesus said
Samaritans,
unto her,
hold on. The Samaritans, they prayed at this mountain, and they still do today. They still go to that mountain, and they do the laws of Moses, but they do it. It's not, they do it based on the Pharisees and stuff. But they do the laws of Moses, and they go to the same mountain even to this day. But remember, Esau's mindset was no, Jerusalem is the place. See what I'm saying? Jerusalem is the place. Keep going.
Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
Yes.
Judah.
Yep. Because David's gonna come through Judah and all this stuff. He respected that. That's why they're going to Jerusalem. That's where the temple is at. That's where the Levites at. When he go there, he gonna see that they're a bunch of hypocrites. But it seems like he's kind of upbeat now. But he gonna go there.
So that verse that says here, ye worship not, ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. Is that the same as the verse in the Quran that say I worship what you not worship,
it's similar,
and
ain't
you
it?
worship what I know worship.
Yeah,
Worship
that's
is you
similar.
be your religion to me be mine.
Very similar. Very similar. And some of them, the Samaritans, some of them worship like idols and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very simple. Yeah. All right. So now look at this. Now you see. Now, when the Quran says Jews, we know where Prophet Muhammad was at. We're gonna deal with the Christian part because it's what Nazareth. But you see, Jew is dealing with these people down here, and you go into Acts. You go read a lot about them. Paul was dealing with the Jews. It's really the people from Judea, because it's not the Galileans are not. They're not called Jews. They're called people from Galilee, and they call them that. If you read it in the scriptures, they say the men from Galilee. They don't call them Jews. They don't call them Jews.
Even though at that time the Galileans were Israelites and the Judeans were Israelites.
They're both Israelites, yeah.
Gotcha. But they called the Galileans and the Judeans.
Yep. And it was a prestige behind it too. If you was from Judea, you was better. Yeah. And calling him Jesus of Nazareth is kind of, it's kind of a little diss, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like Atlanta, like, man, you ain't from Atlanta, you from Dublin. You ain't,
right.
It's a prestige with being from Judea, because you got the temple and all that good stuff. The Levites, that's the city. All the priests and stuff live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. So now when we read the Quran, we know when the Quran talk about religious stuff, I'm gonna show you. It's talk about Judea. It's talk about these people that live here. The list because when it talks about, well,
because the Quran is not saying Jew, it's saying Yahuda in the Arabic.
It's saying the same thing as Judea.
So let me ask. So I'm going to ask.
Jew is the same. Jew is like it's a nickname. It's mean the same thing as Judea.
So I was going to ask you.
It's like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask a follow-up question to that. So there are some parts, and I'm asking this question. There are some parts in the Arabic where it says Yahuda, and some parts where it's using the word Judea or Jew.
No. It's the same thing. All right, Judea is Judah. It's another way of saying Judah as well, the land of Judah. But gotcha. Judea, after they split, Judea became more than just Judah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have Atlanta, but so many people have moved to Atlanta. People look out like it was Benjamin there, Levi's there. A Levite would be a Judea. Like, where you from? I'm from Judea. Oh, you a Jew? But you're a Levite.
Okay.
Everything else is destroyed in just one little place. Now everybody's Judea. They're not Judah, but they're still from that place.
They're Judea.
Yes.
Judah is a tribe. Judea is a place.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
So it's just weird because you look how they use it. Read that. Read John. Don't worry about the first part at the top. I just showed, yeah, you see Yehuda, Judite, that's what's that Hebrew? Yeah, that's Hebrew. That's the Hebrew. That's the Hebrew Yehudim. That means, yeah, meaning Jews. Yeah, we'll get into that later. All right, read John 11:7.
Then after that said he to his disciples, let us go into Judea again.
Now hold on, his disciples are what? Galilean, right?
Mm-hmm.
They traveling far. They're rolling. They're not Judean. They straight from Galilee. They outsiders. Keep going.
His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again?
So they try to kill you and you going there again? You going back to Judea? The
Gotcha.
Jews, see that? He didn't say Galilee. See, they're different.
Gotcha. So
He didn't say
he's not talking about, so it's clear there. That's sort of like, let's sort of like, if let's say, let's say if you're African American
Mm-hmm.
and you are from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then you go down to Alabama, and
Yep.
you're with a group, and you're like, okay, we're gonna go down to Alabama and
Mm-hmm.
try to help these, like back during the civil rights movement. We're gonna
Yep.
go down to Alabama and try to help these people out.
Yep.
And then they say, man, those Bamas
Yes. Yes.
didn't
Yes.
accept us. We tried to go down there and help them, and they threw rocks at us. We're gonna go down there again.
Yep.
But they're
But they're
both
not
they're
yet understand. They are keepers of the law. They are the preachers. They are the big dogs. They are the big dogs. They got the Torah. They got the long robes and stuff. They are the big dogs. That's like
gotcha.
what that's like. I mean, it's the fake Mecca, but that's like rolling up in the Mecca.
That makes sense. Oh,
You know what I'm saying? But he was gathering a bunch of people. Like he was like around all. And then like John the Baptist, or what John the Baptist did, like he was making a big impact. And people thought he was David because David, what did David do? David gathered all the tribes together. He was the only king that ever united Israel as one. So they were looking for somebody to bring all of Israel together as one again, like David. That's why they were like, "Oh, you the king of the Jews," because they you know what I'm saying? Because he's like, dude, you got all these, you got you got all these people from the country and stuff, and now you coming down to Jerusalem. Like he could have, if they would accept him, he really could have united everybody.
wow. Mm,
Like David.
mhm,
All
mm.
right, the last part at the bottom.
John 4:34. He left Judea and departed again into Galilee, and he must needs go through Samaria.
So he going back home. He's not from there, is he?
Right. Going back up to Galilee.
Yeah. So you ain't got to read all this, but so when they say is Jesus a Nazarene, that's kind of dissing him. You know what I'm saying? This kind of like you ain't they saying you ain't Judean. You just Jesus of Nazareth, but he was born in Bethlehem. So
Hmm.
Bethlehem is Judea,
Gotcha.
but he
I
was raised
think
in Nazareth. He was raised in Nazareth.
hmm,
All right,
you
so
said that.
Judeans. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Judeans, these are the people that live. Now we get into the religious thing where when the Quran addressed them, this is what they're addressing: the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the lawyers, the scribes that lived there, the chief priests, the temple priests. The Essenes were there. You had zealots that run. You had zealots like there was anti-Roman. They had like resistant groups there. You know what I'm saying? They're like
Mm.
the Panthers. You had the Panthers. You had what I'm saying. You had like a bunch of stuff going on there. So he did have Simon the Zealot. Simon the Zealot was one of his disciples. You had the Essenes, a separatist group. You had people that did not like Rome and don't believe they should be under Rome. Pilate, he was the governor of Judea. Heron, I might be saying it wrong. He was over Galilee, and he was Edomite. Okay, but they all would work for Rome. All right. So the Pharisees, They believed in resurrection. They believe in angels, spirits. They were over a lot of the synagogues, very respected. They were the teachers of the law. They taught the hadiths, called an oral tradition. They were big on superstition, bullcrap. Like, wipe your butt with your left hand. All that was Pharisees all day. Okay.
And they
They,
weren't Levite, correct? They were.
no,
were
the Sadducees were Levites.
Who was the Sadducees? Was Levite?
The Sadducees was the Levites. They the ones was over the temple.
Okay,
They
gotcha.
were aristocratic. They had money. They had a lot of money, but they were in cahoots with the Greeks, and they loved Greek culture, and they didn't mind, And then, but the Pharisees that word Pharisees actually means separatists, but they really wasn't separatists. They were like hypocrites. Like, your name mean to separate, but you ain't really trying to separate. And then you had your Essenes. They had Enoch's calendar, the Essenes. They were off in the desert and in the wilderness. They had the 364-day calendar. The Pharisees, they had the new moon calendar. They had the false calendar and stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on. And then you had your regular people.
Okay, so I mean I'm glad that you explained those groups, because a lot of times you hear those terms, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees terms, but a lot of times folks don't really know who they were. So the Pharisees were non-Levites, and they taught law and tradition.
Yes, and they were big on evangelizing. They converted Gentiles and all that stuff. That was big on that. They were like preachers.
Okay. Okay.
And some of the Pharisees, like Paul was a Pharisee.
I understand. And they converted. They converted the Gentile. Some of the Gentiles were converted to.
Yep, let me show you. That's not it. Well, we'll get to it. But yeah, they keep going. They converted.
Some of the Gentiles were converted to their religion that they kind of created.
Yes, they converted.
What was the name of their religion?
Oh wow. I mean, eventually it's gonna be called Judaism. That's what it's eventually gonna be called. The Judaism that they practice today is the same thing of the fit. That's where they got it from, the Pharisees.
Gotcha.
It's called the Mishnah. The Mishnah, that is an oral tradition, the oral Torah. It's not the Torah, but it's the oral Torah of traditions that they wrote down coming from the Pharisees. The Pharisees ain't write it down, but this is what they wrote down, that the Pharisees, and then the Talmud is the rabbis making commentary or explaining the Mishnah.
Okay, so the Mishnah is oral tradition.
It's called an oral Torah. They believe that there was a written Torah, and they believe Moses had an oral Torah too. You see how slick that is?
And where did they get this oral Torah from?
It's the traditions of the Pharisees.
Sort of like the hadiths according to so and so, that so and so said this and that.
Just like hadiths, exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. And the Talmud is an explanation of the Mishnah.
Yeah, the rabbis over time, the rabbis debated and talked about the Mishnah and debated and stuff. The rabbis did that. So now, the Mishnah preserves many teachings that came from the Pharisees, rabbinical tradition. This is what is followed today. The Talmud is an explanation of the Mishnah. Read that last part at the bottom.
Matthew 23:15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold, more the child of hell than yourselves.
Yep. The calendar that they're following is Pharisee calendar, the moon. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Jewish because Judea, what the people of Judea was teaching and all that good stuff. But the problem is, in the Quran, Allah be speaking to the real Pharisees, the real people of Judea. But you got the Gentiles that came in And now we reading it like it's talking to them. It's not talking to them, it's talking to the real ones. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it
That's
say
interesting.
Nazareth is not talking to Roman Christians, it's talking to the real Nazareth.
Mm.
Muhammad was talking to the real ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I do have one follow-up question,
Go ahead.
because I guess that's a topic in itself with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The what? How in the world did they come? I mean, did that come about? Did that come after Babylon? Did that
It came after
Pharisees and
it came after Babylon. When they came back from Babylon, they set it up. The Sadducees set it up, and the Sadducees they got in cahoots with the Greeks, and they were tight with the Greeks. That's why they got money. They were real tight with the Greeks.
So when they came back from Babylon,
They were good
they
for a little bit when they came back. You know, what's his name? Prophet Ezra had them in order and stuff, and then they got corrupt. And then
got
they
you.
set up. It's Pharisees is a political. It's a political group. It's a sect.
Okay. And
Sadducees is too. So it wasn't no Levite. It was all about your little Pharisees. It wasn't about, you supposed to be a Levite. You're supposed to be family. It was about your political group.
not, but the Pharisees were Levites or were not Levites?
Judah, mostly Judah.
They were Judites. Okay, gotcha. Which
All right, so they
that
say,
within itself goes against the scriptures, because they're not supposed to be the religious leaders,
yep,
are they?
nope,
You're only supposed to be the Levites.
yep. But the Levites were too busy, corrupt.
Gotcha.
That's why Esau walked in the temple tearing up stuff.
Yeah, because the fact that you said that the Sadducees were rich, and we know that the Levites didn't have anything.
They were rich because they were in cahoot with the foreigners and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like we had people like, we was like, they were over us. The Greeks took over the Greeks and the Romans and all that. They liked the Greek culture and stuff.
So it's sort of like how it is today,
Yes,
where
it's always, yep. It always repeats itself. It's the same thing.
like a lot of the rich people in the African American community are the ministers and pastors and folks like that,
Yeah,
and they're okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you see the Pharisees, they converted, they did not care if you was Israelite or not, they converted everybody. They went, he said sea, they went around the sea and converted people and all that stuff. All right. So read that real quick. Some of the Pharisees tradition.
For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands oft, eat not, holding the tradition of the elders.
One more.
Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands?
So it's good to wash your hands, but it's like, but the point is, they nitpicking. You gotta eat with your right hand. You know what I'm saying? You gotta walk it with your right foot in the door. That's how the Pharisees was. But you see, they're outsiders.
Gotcha. Really focus on that.
Yep. But you got poor people walking around in Judea everywhere. And you talk about me eating with the right hand and the person ain't got no food. It's 5 people on the ground and they your brother and they broke and they your brother and they're homeless in Judea. And you come to me talk about eat with my right, man, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
And this oral Torah, it came after Babylon.
Well, the tradition is it always been here. They say, oh, no, the talking about the Mishnah.
Yeah.
Mishnah was written down years and years later after the Pharisees.
Gotcha. Because we don't hear nothing about an oral tradition inside of the Torah.
No, you come on now. That's no.
Gotcha. But they wrote it down. The Pharisees wrote this thing down.
Yes, it's hadith. It's like they
Okay.
that's Allah's sunnah. The devil always gonna come with something next to it.
Understand. Okay.
Some will come
Interesting.
next to it. It's weird.
And
You
and
think
and,
if you
and
got then Paul can't run out them.
oh, wow.
It
Huh.
always happens like that.
Hmm. Okay.
All right, so the Galileans were not a sect like the Pharisees and Sadducees. They were a regional people. Jesus, Peter, Andrew, James, John, Philip, and many of the women that follow him were from Galilee. Read that last part. I can't even see the part.
Search and look, for out of Galilee ariseth no prophet.
So this is what they thought. They thought, like, what? A prophet coming from Galilee? Keep going.
And Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Philip said unto him, I don't see the last part. But yeah, you see that? So that was their ideas of like, really? I guess Nazareth was the ghetto or something, or it was a small town. Nothing, you know. All right, so this is the weird part. Now, this is the weird part. I think I spelled that wrong. But in the Quran it says Nazarene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they translate it as Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Nazarenes did not believe. They didn't believe in Isa. Now this is the weird thing. But they're gonna attach themselves to Isa. Read that real quick. Read that real quick.
And they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor,
Same.
save in his own country and in his own house. And he in Matthew 13:58, and he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Luke 4:28, and all they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath, and rose up and thrust him out of the city, and led him unto the brow of the hill, whereon their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong. But he, passing through the midst of them, went his way, and came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and taught them on the Sabbath days.
So he went in his own people into the synagogues with his own people, and they kicked him out of the city, told him to get on somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they rejected him when he was here. When he was here, they were not his followers at all.
The
Then guess what's gonna happen?
What's that?
Then guess what's gonna happen?
Okay.
They're not his followers. They rejected him. Look,
Mm-hmm.
read that. Then what's gonna happen?
Accepted Paul after Jesus' so-called resurrection.
Keep going.
Acts 24:5, for we have found this man a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes.
So now Paul, they believe when Paul came to them,
Mm-hmm.
but when Isa was here, they didn't believe. So they believed wrong. But they using, since they say Jesus of Nazareth, now they could use his name when they didn't really get taught by Jesus. They didn't get taught by Jesus. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right. I'm reading Acts 24:5 again, just so I can make sure that I'm understanding what they were saying.
So they talk about Paul.
Okay, so talking about Paul.
The Nazarenes.
Okay, so they're when they say this man, they're talking about Paul.
Yes, Paul.
And the Nazarenes are the ones who are speaking here. Is that correct?
No. The Jews are speaking.
Okay, so the Jews are speaking, which are the Judeans.
Yes.
For we have found this man a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes.
But you see, the Nazarenes did not accept Isa when he was walking around. The Galileans, they accepted him. They walked with him. Nazarene kicked him out. But now they accept when Paul come with this Trinity mess. So now they're a big group, but they're the Nazarenes, but they got the name because Jesus of Nazareth. So they got the name, but they really ain't associated with him.
Now let me ask you
You
this
really ain't
follow-up question.
associated with it. Because guess what? Jesus' followers were what? Muslim.
Right.
Galilean. They were
In the
regular.
way he's talking, it's clear they're Muslim.
You see that? But
So
listen, you see how Esau's followers should be called Galileans? They like back in the cut. And see how the Nazarenes came in and kind of
yeah,
took it just because of the name? When they never really
right.
was. You kicked
They
them out.
weren't there before.
You kicked
Now,
them out. Go ahead, go ahead.
so the Nazarenes, they kind of been clinging on to this name for many different. They kind of clinging on to this word Nazarene because the Nazarene was actually at one point a good group of folks.
I mean, it, no, not that. Yep, the Nazarene they was Torah keeping and stuff, but then the Paul came in, and then
Well,
they
no,
believed.
no, I'm referring to them before Isa even came on the scene. Wasn't they the ones who had the oath, the Nazarene
Yeah, they
oath?
good people, but that's the messenger coming. You know, then you come bad. You know, they
Gotcha.
probably was good, but you know, if you don't, you get to sell
Just so
Moses, and then but when Jeremiah coming out, you become bad.
okay, so just to kind of, and I'm sure other folks have the same question because we hear this word Nazarene, Nazari. So these Nazarenes, Nazari, these are the same folks that we've heard about even with Samson. Samson was a Nazarene,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep. Dreadlocks.
Okay, so this is a whole group. This is a whole group that's been around for a long time
Yep.
before Isa was even born.
Yep. Now, I think in the Quran it does say some good things, so they must be some good Nazarenes. But they some that with the Paul way.
Okay, some
And
of
they're
the
and
Paul
in the
way and
Quran they're dissed. And they say the Jews and the Nazarene. Now you see what it's saying? They're using his name, but Allah really don't associate them with Isa.
so I had to slow down for one quick second
It's
and
deep.
really
It's deep.
process this
It's very deep.
because you see the Quran says that when this Quran is saying the Jews and the Nazarene or the Nazarenes,
Yep. The Jews is
now
Judea. The
that's
people
gonna
from
make
Judea.
more sense
Yeah.
that word Nazarene is included with that word Jews
Yep.
because these were the people of that time in
Yes.
that era. The
Yes. But people of today is
Nazarenes were
trying to
the
take it.
Judeans.
Yes. People of the day is trying to be like, it's Christians. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It got
Well,
nothing to do with it. It's back in
they
the day.
just they have Mr. Malmadh to explain them.
Mm.
That's what that is. Serious. I mean, like all jokes aside, like who'da knew? So it's like the translators they don't know all this back history. They just looked
They
at the
should.
word.
Oh yeah, they do. You're right. You're right. They do. You're right. You're right.
They looked
You're right.
at the word Yahuda and they looked at Nazarene or Nazari in the Arabic and they just translated to those two words,
Right.
not knowing the backstory.
Yeah, because Nazareth was Torah keepers. And then I guess some of them went to Paul and was not. So you got good ones, you got bad ones. But they rejected Esau.
Because let me ask you this one more follow-up question to that with the Nazarenes. Were the Nazarenes Israelite?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So like Samson, all those folks,
They were Israelite, yes.
they were just called Nazarenes because they
Took
had
the
a
oath.
they had a special oath.
Yeah, when you take the oath, you become a Nazarene. You could be any
Yeah,
tribe. We used to say, I'm gonna take the oath, then you become a Nazarene, you take an oath.
gotcha. But as time went on, and history happened, a group of the Nazarenes settled into a place and
Yeah, that's
created.
like the Rastafarians.
Gotcha. So
The Rasta.
it's
Yeah.
almost kind of like if the Rastafarians settle into a place and
Yeah.
they create their own city or town,
They
they
got,
call
they
it
got,
Rastafari.
yeah, they got a place. They got a place. You could go and there's a bunch of them. You go out where I forgot where they are, Jamaica or something. You go there,
Hmm.
it's a bunch of Rastafarians. And then,
Gotcha.
like, if let's picture, like, Esau parents moved there, and
Mm-hmm.
he grow up there.
Mm-hmm.
They all reject him. Say,
Mm.
hey man, get out of here, man. And
Mm.
then they accept Paul.
Mm.
But they walking around, they can use the name because he's a Jesus of Nazareth,
Gotcha.
using the name, and they ain't even accept him. The Galileans accepted him. I
Gotcha.
ain't, it's not, I ain't see not in the scriptures with none of the Galileans. Every area he went, I ain't see none of them reject him.
Mm.
It's a
Okay.
beautiful place too, boy. They must have just been chilling. It's a beautiful place.
Okay. Makes sense.
Here's a side note. These are some people that rejected him. You ain't got to read all of this. I just want to show you, everybody see.
Mm-hmm.
They rejected, but they saw him coming, and then they looked and they told him to get up out of there. Totally rejected. It probably Israelite area. Hold on. And in Decapolis, they actually a couple people accepted. I don't know if it was the whole city, but there was acceptance there. Some
Okay.
people, he healed somebody, and then the dude went and spread it everywhere. All right, read that. Just to calm us down a little bit. Read that. Calm us down.
All right. Quran 5:111. And when I inspired the disciples, believe in me and in my messenger, they said, we have believed. So bear witness that indeed we are Muslims, submitting ones.
Now that you see, his followers were Muslims. They were Galilean. They were Muslims. They really wasn't on that Pharisee, Judaism, this and that. They believe in gathering the Israelites together and handling business.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They real low key. We really don't even know that much.
Mm-hmm.
I already talked about that. There's some more people. This area right here, some of them accepted him. So you see how it stretched out? They did a lot of walking. All right, let's get into the good stuff. It's finna go down. Are you ready? We finna
Mm-hmm.
get into the good stuff. All right.
Okay.
Whoo. All right. I call this, I call this the Christian dilemma. They got some kind of Muslim dilemma that I am gonna address. Believe that. I'm gonna address the Muslim dilemma, but they got something called a Christian dilemma. Could you read Galatians 1:8 for me real quick?
But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
So this is Paul. Crazy, but Paul said if an angel come to you, they cursed the angel. They said let it be cursed, right? Is it cursing the angel?
That's what I'm trying to read that. Yeah, so this is something that Paul wrote,
Yeah, it's
correct?
Paul, right?
Galatians.
Galatians is Paul.
Okay, but though I just want to read that again. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
And I think it's another one. I think it might be 1:9 where it says not to accept even an angel. If an angel come, don't even accept it. Preaching another gospel.
Wow, so that's basically setting them up to not accept the Quran.
Yeah. And guess what else? The book of Revelations. Then the angel
Oh
come.
yeah, the book of
That's
Revelations. Yeah.
yeah, so that's the Christian dilemma.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
Paul was like, man, dude, this is the doctrine. What I'm teaching you right now, if an angel come and teach you different, don't accept it. It's a curse. But an angel came to John.
Mm. Yeah, you
And
don't really hear them get too much into the book of Revelations.
yeah. And now it's the same. It's the same. No, it's not. Paul's gospel is salvation by faith. This is Paul's gospel. Jesus' death and resurrection. Jesus in the Trinity, doing away with the law. We are in the law of Christ. That is Paul's gospel. All right. This is the book of Revelation's gospel. Could you read that for me?
And I say, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to
Let's
every
scroll.
nation and kindred and tongue and people.
Now we're gonna
Saying,
read this. Is this the same as Paul? Read it. Is this the same as Paul gospel? Keep going.
saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters.
So the angel's gospel is worship one God, the one who created you, created the waters and all that good stuff. That's the
Can you
gospel of the Quran.
go
So
back
Paul
to the
said,
other
Paul,
one, the Paul's
go
one?
back. Now there's I think there's a verse like 1:8, and I think he repeated in 1:9 too in Galatians. Read that.
But
What did
though
Paul say?
we, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. And
That's a,
then,
that's another gospel. The book of Revelation is another gospel. It's not the same gospel as Paul. And it's an angel. And I think Galatians 1:9 says it repeats it. It says something like that. So yeah,
yeah,
is it that's the Christian dilemma?
and it's interesting.
Oh, it's more. You ready?
Yep.
It's more. Paul messed up big time. Now we're gonna skip the top part. Go down to the
Uh-huh.
bottom. 2 Timothy 1:15.
Okay. You know that everyone in the province of Asia has deserted me, including Phygelus and Hermogenes.
So everybody in the
Hermogenes.
province of Asia deserted him. The 7 churches come from where? Go up the top. What it say? 7 churches of what?
Asia Minor.
So all this, the Spirit talking to these 7 churches, all these 7 churches rejected Paul. Dang, that's a dilemma, ain't it?
That's interesting. You know that everyone in the province of Asia has deserted me. And then up
Right.
here, Revelations 2, this is speaking to the 7 churches of Asia Minor. I was in the spirit the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what you see, write in a book and send it to the 7 churches which are in Asia.
Let's go get deep.
Okay.
Let's go get deep. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go get deep. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna skip this real quick. I'm coming back. Ephesus. Where we at? All right. Paul went to these churches right here. This is what Paul went to these churches. He went to Jerusalem and he almost got killed. Okay, locked him up. All right. Revelations only addresses one of these churches. Ephesus. All right. So. All right. So Ephesus. That's what let's see. Let's go into it. All right. Ignatius. He was the bishop of Antioch. Antioch is where they were labeled Christians. That's like the seat, crown seat. He's one of the church fathers. All right. He wasn't born when Isa was walking the earth. Look at that. AD, 35 AD. He wasn't even born. Okay. He wrote letters to the churches trying to correct them. Now, this is deep. I already did that. I want to get a essay. All right, so let's get into it. We got some of his quotes. He wrote a letter to the Philadelphian Church of Philadelphia, Smyrna, Ephesus. He wrote letters to them, trying to correct. All right, I'm gonna pick out one. Let's see what these churches believe that he had problems with. I'm gonna pick out one. Go to where it says go to where it says Smyrna 7.
Okay. Some rejected the flesh of Jesus Christ. That's the
This is the
direct issue
churches.
Ignatius had. Some
No, No, this Smyrna 7, where it says they abstain. This is
Oh,
what
okay.
Igneous is writing to that church, saying y'all need, he trying to tell them what to do.
They abstain from the Eucharist and
Yep.
from prayer
Uh-huh.
because they confess not the Eucharist to be flesh of our Savior Jesus Christ,
See that?
which which suffered for our sins, and which the Father of His goodness raised up again.
That is a quote from Ignatius from his book called A Letter to Smyrna. So the people from Smyrna, they didn't do that. They ain't do that. You know, when you get a little piece of food, a little
Mm-hmm.
wine, the
Yeah.
Eucharist with the wine and shit. They ain't do that shit.
All right.
So Ignatius is like, y'all ain't doing this. They rejected that. And let me
Gotcha.
tell you, it's two churches that was that didn't that when it in the book of Revelations, when they talk about the churches, it's two
Mm-hmm.
churches that were damn near perfect. And
Now
it was Smyrna,
Ignatius would.
and
Uh-huh.
Philadelphia. The
Gotcha.
Spirit ain't have no problems with them.
And Ignatius is basically saying that they weren't doing what the new doctrine was teaching to do.
Yeah, they were before. That was before them, Ignatius. Let's keep going. All right, let's start. Let's just read them all. Let's start at the top. We're gonna read them
And
all.
now just so I can have some understanding of who Ignatius is, was Ignatius an Israelite?
No, he's a Roman church father. Was a white dude.
Okay, thank you. I just had to have some
We're
clear
like now we're going
understanding
into
on that.
like the Pope. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna turn into the Pope and all that good stuff.
So basically, now now we've had the Paul era. He
Yep.
taught he taught Paul is dead, and now we have this new era, which
Mm-hmm.
are actual Christians, this new religion called Christianity. And
No, they call it Christianity, but these churches follow. They follow the law.
right, well, I'm just saying Ignatius, he was the bishop
Yes. Yep. It was a bishop.
for the new Christianity.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and there were churches that were founded, and some of the churches were doing what they were supposed to do according to Ignatius, but some of the churches were not doing what they were supposed to do. Smyrna and Philadelphia were not doing what they were supposed to be doing
Yes. So
according to.
He wrote letters to them addressing.
Mhm.
Now they're not under him. He just thinking that he just writing letters.
Okay,
They're not under him like that. You know what I'm saying?
gotcha.
He writing letters to him. Philadelphia.
Okay,
Yeah, read the part on the side. That's his quote. But if anyone,
okay. But if anyone preaches Jewish law to you, listen not to him. Wow. For it is better to hearken to Christian doctrine from a man who has been circumcised than to Judaism from one uncircumcised.
see that? Keep going. Go to the
But if
bottom.
either of such persons do not speak concerning Jesus Christ, they are in my judgment, but as monuments and sepulchres of the dead, upon which are written only the names of men. Wherefore, as children of light and truth, flee from division and wicked doctrines. But where the shepherd is, there follow as sheep.
And this is just a little bit. I haven't even I mean, this is just little quotes. We go into this book, he gonna say a lot more. Keep going. He
And
got a
he
whole
suffered.
book.
And he
Now
suffered.
look. Smyrna did not believe Jesus suffered on the cross. Uh-oh. They believe he appeared to suffer. It appeared that way.
Like the Quran says.
Yep. Read it. He suffered. Go ahead.
And he suffered truly, even as also he truly raised up himself, not as certain unbelievers maintain that he only seemed to suffer.
See that? See that?
Hmm.
That's what Smyrna. See that? And I'm gonna show you in the book of Revelations. It's Smyrna. It didn't say anything bad about Smyrna at all. At
Hmm.
all. And the book of Revelation was revealed in 90 AD. This is kind of close to the time. It's close to the time. Keep going. And look, Ignatius is going to tell them, hey, those men, because you know he sent Gabriel sent the spirit to these churches. Ignatius is going to say, don't listen to those men. Watch it. They men to those churches. The little angels. Keep going. For what?
For I know that after his resurrection also he was still possessed of flesh, and I believe that he is so now.
Keep going.
They abstain from the Eucharist and from prayer because they confess not the Eucharist to be the flesh of our Savior Jesus Christ, which suffered for our sins and which the Father of his goodness raised up again.
So they did not believe in the Eucharist. And the Eucharist, that's connected to like believing he died for your sins. They did not believe that. They didn't do that. Because they didn't believe he suffered. They didn't believe it appeared that way. And that was one of the good churches. Keep going.
But I guard you beforehand from those beasts in the shape of men.
See that? Ignatius is a devil. He's talking about them angels that came to their church, the spirit that came to their church to teach them. You see that? Now the devil come out of him. Read it again. The devil coming out of him.
Wow. Well, I guard you beforehand from those beasts in the shape of men, whom you must not only not receive, but if it be possible, not even meet with them.
See that?
Not even meet with.
That sounds like the devil. If it be possible, please don't please. Those spirits that come as men and come into your church trying to teach you, don't please don't. The devil's like, no, if it's possible, could you not meet with them? Nah, nigga. Sorry, I don't need to say the N-word. I'm sorry. You see that? He sound. Why is he meeting with him? I mean, why is he not want nobody to meet with him? What's the problem? Let's keep going. We're almost done. Keep going.
Okay, so this is the church of sent to Ephesus.
Yeah.
For some are in the habit of caring about the name of Jesus Christ in wicked guile, while yet they practice things unworthy of God.
Yeah,
for they are ravening dogs who bite secretly, against whom ye must be on your guard. I have learned
false teachers. Go ahead.
I have learned that certain persons pass through you, having false doctrines, whom ye did not suffer to sow among you.
See that? He want them to go their way. So now, let's go read what Gabriel say about these churches. I don't think I have it. Do you have it up? Well, we can start. We can start with Ephesians. I ain't got the other ones up, but I got this one up. Could you read that one?
Okay.
Ephesians, right? Now,
okay. You wanted me to. Okay. Revelations 2 to the angel of the church in Ephesus, right? These are the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 gold lampstands. I know your deeds, your hard work, and your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate wicked people, that you have tested those who claim to be apostles but are not.
Ooh, read that again. Read it again. They do what?
Have claimed to be apostles but are not.
Wow.
And have found them false. You have persevered and have endured hardships for my name, and have not grown weary. Yet I hold this against you. You have forsaken the love you had at first. Consider how far you have fallen. Repent and do the things you did at first. If you do not repent, I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place. But if you have this in your favor, you hate the practices of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God.
Yeah, so these churches, they in the midst. They're in the midst of this false apostles running around here with this 3 gods and one not, and they trying to maintain and sending all these letters. They like dangerous. They're Romans. They'll kill you and all this crazy stuff. It's a bunch of stuff going on,
Mm.
and they trying to maintain. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now that wasn't so bad. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's. Dang. Can you pull? We need to. I want us to read Smyrna.
Okay.
And Philadelphia. Pull that up real quick.
Okay.
Those are really good.
Okay.
Now remember, Smyrna are the ones they did not believe in the body and all that crap. They believed that Isa appeared.
Yeah. Okay. And you want
And
me
then
to go
there's
to
another
this?
one. Hey, there's more quotes. I didn't get all the quotes. There's a quote. Dang. There's a quote where Ignatius says the Church of Philadelphia won't believe until they see the archives. You know what archives mean, right?
What, the books?
Proof.
Mm-hmm.
Proof.
Mm. I have the Revelations 2 up.
Yeah, hold on, give me a second. Let me you got Revelation 2? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me 1 second. I think I gotta share something. Not to share. Let me remove mine. And then I want to show. Dang. I want to show one more thing. But put yours up. Yeah, I gotta show Ignatius. And it's probably more church fathers that sent letters and to these churches.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm gonna find his quote real quick. This is good. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Because it's more. It's way more. Philadelphia light, person speaking in Jesus Christ, It's another one. I mean, they wrote like books. All right, where we at? I'm sorry. I'm taking so long. Yeah, here's a quote. I just read it. Ignatius to Philadelphia, chapter 6. There's a quote. But if anyone preach the Jewish law unto you, listen not to him.
Mm.
It's another one that's really good. It's more. It's more. It's gonna be a lot more. We'll continue to study. We're gonna find so many quotes.
Okay, so you want me to read the message to the church in Philadelphia?
Hold on. Can you put it? Oh yeah, let me add it. All right, so that's Philadelphia is the next one? Or
No, there's a couple other messages before, but you were just talking about Philadelphia, so
we're gonna do Philadelphia and Smyrna.
Okay. So, message to the church in Philadelphia, and to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that opens, and no man shutteth, and shutteth, and no man opens.
He that is true. That's the spirit of truth. Keep going.
Okay. I know thy works, behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Pause it. Who coming quickly? Didn't Gabriel come?
Oh, he did. Yeah, Gabriel
came to Muhammad. He said, "I'm coming quickly." He go come to Gabriel. He go come to Muhammad, raise up an army, and get at them Romans. He coming. He gonna make them bow down. Keep going. And
Him
he
that
did.
over him
He
that
came with. He came
overcometh,
with the help. He came with the help. Keep going.
him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which
Mm-hmm.
cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches.
See the spirit. That's the angel. The angel is the angel. And he
See
said he
that?
coming. He coming. He said he coming. He gonna come. He gonna remove your church. Yeah, he came. He rose up, and that whole place is Islam now. The whole area is Islam. Okay. All right.
Mm,
Let's go to Now, was there anything bad about Philadelphia?
no, nothing bad about Philadelphia.
But your nations had a lot of bad stuff to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Smyrna. I want to go to Smyrna. Smyrna's like the best one. Smyrna's like the best one.
Okay. And unto the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive.
That was Gabriel. He took the place of Isa. Keep going.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but
Mm.
are the synagogue of Satan.
Now hold on. Didn't Ignatius sound evil? Don't listen to those men and those beasts and all that stuff. He sounded like he was more than a man. Sounded like he had a little something inside of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep going.
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that
Mm.
you may be tried, and that you shall have tribulation 10 days. But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
Now the word church means congregation. That's what it means. Congregations. That's all it means. So, did he say anything bad? Did he say why you're not eating the blood and drinking this? Why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Smyrna didn't they believe that Isa appeared? That he really didn't die. He appeared.
Mm.
That's why I see Gabriel made it, that's why he said was dead and alive. That's why he said that. He said that for
Mm.
Smyrna. He didn't say that for anybody else. He said it for Smyrna.
Oh.
I see why he said it. That
Mm.
makes sense. But
Mm.
they wasn't in the wrong. Ignatius said it was in the wrong. Angels ain't write no letter to Ignatius.
Mm. You know what's interesting is that and I'm just curious. This is since we're reading some of these writings. I'm wondering.
I haven't studied the other ones yet. I gotta study those. It's probably gonna be more.
Well, I'm
The
saying
church fathers probably wrote a letter to all of them, giving us all the ammunition.
well,
Go ahead.
I'm just reading the messages to the congregations, to the churches, and Smyrna. It seems as if, and I'm just making sure before I say this, because I don't want to say something that's not correct. That's why I'm just reading through it. It seems as if
Yes, Philadelphia, Smyrna is the only ones that got a perfect 100.
right, and they
Philadelphia, even
were,
Philadelphia, Smyrna, that's the only ones that got perfect 100.
and that part where the bishop, what's his name, Ithius,
Ignatius, something like that.
Ignatius, he was basically dissing them for having so-called Jewish like
Yeah,
practices,
yeah.
but the Spirit addressed Philadelphia and addressed Philadelphia and Smyrna, and these were the only two that the Spirit addressed and said,
They fake people, yeah.
it talked about, yeah, it says, behold, it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say that they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet and know that I have loved thee. That's Philadelphia. And then um, Smyrna said, he said to Smyrna, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. The reason why I bring that up is because the other churches, that's not addressed to them. But in that book, that was the letter that Bishop wrote, he talks about these two and how their practices look more like the Jewish practices.
Yeah.
I guess it looked more like
Israelite.
how it used to look when Easter was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And practicing the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these other ones seems to be, that's interesting. Doing away from that.
I think if you're on that list, you're actually in the running. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're in the running if you're on that list. Like,
if you're one of these churches,
yeah, you got a candlestick. Even if it's threatened, like I'll take away your candlestick, you still got a candlestick. You got a chance. You got a who has a candlestick? You know what I'm saying? That's a light. That's like a light that you can make it. That's like a light from Allah. That's good.
Gotcha.
To
Because
even
I'm
be on
looking
the
at
list.
this church of the Pergamum.
Yeah, I mean I can't address it because I I like to study it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, but you can read it. I mean yourself, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Because
I
when
know that
when you get in the book of Revelation, you got to really you got to study that junk for you. It could be thick, man. Yeah, they tolerated the Galatians. What is the Paragama? They tolerated them, but I think Smyrna didn't tolerate them at all.
Now, let me ask you this follow-up question about these different congregations it's been translated into the churches, the church of this in church of that. What are these people? Are they Israelites or are they a mix
The
of Israelites?
scattered Israelites. After Easter left around 67 AD, Romans came down to Galilee and scattered them. They ran and moved, the Israelites moved different places, all that stuff. Romans came down in 70 AD, destroyed the temple, and ain't no more Sadducees at all. Destroyed the temple. The Romans will put you in slavery and carry you off to other places and stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. Even John, he was writing a book in prison.
Gotcha. So when these
Hold on, let me
messages.
say this before. Let me say this before that. What happened? Judea rebelled. They tried to do like a revolution and rebel, and Rome came down and just put them in slavery, scattered them.
Gotcha.
And Isa predicted it. And then they put a pig. Titus put a pig on the altar, man. That's called the desolation of something. Dang, Daniel talks about it, the desolation of something where they put a pig on the altar, like total disrespect.
Gotcha. So,
all right, go ahead.
Gotcha. So the scene of the day here is all that has taken place. There's no more Judea that we knew with the Israelites there, the Sadducees and the Pharisees.
Yep.
Now we're scattered there's different congregations in different areas where we're scattered and we're receiving these messages or letters.
Yep. And a lot of Israelites crossed that Jordan and they went over there And then Prophet Muhammad came up and they was right there with him, the people of the book. They're just a
Right.
remnant. It's just a remnant. Even the people that was there during Easter's time was a remnant. Our people already like them went into Africa. That just was a remnant.
Gotcha. And it seems like a remnant. As we're reading about it now, it's when you showed us that map, you know, it seems you could tell it's like a little small remnant. It's not mighty Israel like it was.
Nah, it
Okay.
wasn't. And then, Prophet Muhammad came and the people of the book, some of them cleaned onto him, some of them was rolling with the Romans. And then Prophet Muhammad whooped their butt, whooped the Romans' butt with the Israelites and the Ishmaelites all together.
Gotcha.
And then, then they fall off in the hadiths and look where we at now.
Hmm.
They bombing the hell out of us.
Right.
But yeah, so questions. What you think? What you think? Question. What you think? What you think? That was cool. Let me see what we're doing
I'll
over here.
stop sharing my screen.
You want me to take you down?
Yeah, you can.
Hold on, let me say walaikum salam. Yep. I'm trying to read some Judaism come out of the Pharisees. Yep, and the Kabbalah comes from them too. Yep, Maroon's right. He said Judaism comes from the Pharisees. Yep. But hold on, did I take her totally out? Hold on. I think I took you totally out. Hello?
Uh-huh.
My fault.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
But yeah. So what they're practicing, it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? Even the Christianity, it's our fault. It's the original fault. Just like, dang, it was dang, I had a good example. I had a good example. Kind of like hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You take it, and you look up, and it's whitewashed.
Right.
That's how everything happened. All of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes sense. It's sort of like, the scene of the day was we kind of had all this confusion going on, and after the dust was settled and we started going to teaching Gentiles. Both sides were teaching Gentiles, and so now we have this new religion. We have two new religions after the dust was settled. We have
Yeah, and they're gonna
Judaism and we have Christianity.
yeah, and then they're gonna interpret it based off of their paradigm. So
Right.
now they talk about the Muslim dilemma. They say in the Quran it says, "Ask the if the Muhammad, if you're in doubt, ask the people of the book." But the original people of the book, so it's not these Roman Jews and Christians. The original
Right.
people of the book was they followed Torah and they followed Quran. They were people that yes you could listen to.
Right. The original people of the book are going to be the Israelites, the scattered folks who grew up learning as children about the different prophets that we read about in the Quran.
Yep, it's not going to be these people. They're following Nazarites. They follow the Nazarites that rejected Isa. They following Paul. You know, where the Galileans at?
Because if you think of like if we think about it, like let's just say for example, all right, like let's say I'm a new Muslim of the day. I'm a one of the new Arab Muslims or whatnot,
Mhm.
and I this is the first time I've ever heard about David, right? Or read
Right.
about David from the Quran perspective. and I'm reading about some of the things that the Quran talked about. Like, say, for example, the 99, when Quran's talking about the 99 ooze, when it's telling David, you had the 99, one,
Yeah.
you got the 99 ooze, and the other person got just the one ooze, one
Right.
ooze. And
Right.
so, okay, so me as a new Muslim, Arab new Muslim, I can go to some of the people of the book. I can go to one of the Israelites that's walking around and say, "Hey, um, you know a little bit about what it's talking about here, and it's talking about David with the 99 oohs and the one
Mm,
ooh. You know
mm,
something about that? Because David had 99 oohs and one ooh. Like, can you
mm,
explain? You can you give me some insight on that? And then
mm.
as this Israelite who grew up learning about David, learning about what happened, you know, then they can shed light on it, and then not only will they be able to shed light on on that verse, it'll strengthen their faith as well,
Yeah.
because that's not even a perspective that we read about in the book, in one of the books of the prophets. We don't read 99 U's and one U.
Right. Right.
But we know that King David, we know that King David, we know what happened with King David in that situation.
Exactly.
And we're like, wow,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
profound perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's not supposed to be all hostility and stuff, but you you bring, I don't know, if you bring arrogant Gentiles in, then it becomes a problem, man.
Hmm.
Arrogance, you know.
Yeah, arrogance,
Yeah.
period, is a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to, lower your guard and learn and accept, then you'll never grow.
Yeah.
You have to be able to lower your guard and you know to grow.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, w-
Because if you think about it, let's use that same example with the 99 oohs and the one ooh.
mhm,
Let's say if I was an arrogant Arab, and I didn't want to listen to and I didn't want to go to one of the people of the book and say, "Hey, man, can you give me some more insight on that?" Well, I didn't want to go to the book itself and read about David, peace be upon him.
mm,
Me as an arrogant person, I would be like, "Well, it says it right here that David had 99 oohs and one ooh.
mm, mm,
It says it right here."
mm,
And now you're not even getting the wisdom.
mm. I want to say this. I want to say this. Is
Mm-hmm.
is isn't it beautiful how the Most High set it up? The Most High set it up where if they want the deeper stories, they do. Like even like what's that story about? Dang, about those females. It's a females. It's the Old Testament, Ruth and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Now I'm not really versed on the Ruth and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
your mother's, she's versed on that. You hear me? If I
Yep.
want to know about Ruth, then I would go to her and say, "Hey, tell me about Ruth. Tell me the story." I'm not versed
Right.
on it, but I bet she'll tell me from the top to the bottom. And it's
Right.
like Allah made it where we can tell them the stories, and if we need to know the Arabic, we go to them. Hey,
Right.
help me with this Arabic word. What does it mean in the Quran?
Exactly.
It's a like a give and take.
Absolutely. You
It's like
said something pretty. You said something pretty profound when we were talking about the give and the take. What came to my mind when we were talking about the give and the take. I remember you said something pretty profound when we were talking about Quranic recitation, and
mhm,
you were talking about, you said, pointed out that the Quran talks about the sing the praises of your Lord, and when you're reciting in the notes, you're
rhythmic.
reciting in
Yeah,
notes, rhythm and notes. And
yeah.
then you said, so think about that. If, let's say, for example, somebody like I forgot what singer you used.
Beyonce, right?
I think you used Beyonce. You said, well, if Beyonce became Muslim and learned how to recite the Quran, it would sound so totally different because she understands the concept of the notes and things of that nature. Now, imagine how powerful it is to hear Israel, not even Beyonce, but just an Israelite period recite the Quran.
Yeah.
Versus someone who's not necessarily to recite it, and they have a totally different way about it. It's still beautiful. I'm not knocking them. It's still beautiful that they're reciting the Quran, but it is different. And imagine how many people can come just to listen to an Israelite recite.
Yeah.
That could ultimately make people want to learn more about the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, this is beautiful. Now let me go and read the English and read exactly what it is that they're saying.
Yeah.
Like a dawah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, like you said, but there's a giving and a taking on that, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. So true. So true. So did you learn anything or?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely learned a lot. I learned about really how Israel was divided up after Babylon, divided into these, not, we are, everybody kind of hear about northern Israel, southern Israel, but just really how they were divided up, and then they had that Samaria in between, with the foreigners, and that really kind of kept a division between the two groups. And then also, this learning about the Sadducees and how that they were Levites, but they were sounding like they were kind of like corrupt Levites that we.
They didn't believe in life after death. They didn't believe in angel spirits. They were like
Oh my goodness.
they were like Nation Islam over and over. They were
So
just like Nation Islam. They didn't believe in none of that junk.
Wow. So they I don't even know, they were Levites by blood, basically.
Yeah, by blood. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yes.
So now
And then
that
clearing
will help.
up the
That will help.
Jews
Like now
and
when you
the.
read it, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
I said now when you read the Quran and then you see Jew, Christian, you'll be like, okay, now you're reading in a different perspective. So you know what was going on and you know who Allah's talking to. You know what I'm saying?
And that makes and that makes it make
clear.
sense.
Makes it clear. Yeah.
Because, you know. Now let me ask you this.
Then after that, a few hundred years, you're gonna have Muhammad come in.
That makes sense.
He talking to them. Go ahead.
Because I was even thinking about, there's verses in the Quran that's talking about the Nazarene and how it's addressing the whole Trinity. But again, this lesson today cleared that up as well. That at some point the Nazarene, they accepted Paul.
No, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't accept Isa at all.
They
They
accepted
accepted
Paul.
Paul. They said Paul.
Paul,
Never said Isa through Paul.
And Paul was, he did doctrine. He did teach the whole Trinity.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they rejected him when he was like right there with him, and then when everybody started talking about him, he got his. Oh, he from here. Oh, we with him.
Yeah.
He was born with y'all. Like y'all ain't even accept him. And he could have did miracles and stuff, but they wouldn't accept him. Ain't no miracles gonna happen until you believe.
Makes sense.
Like sometimes, man, it's like sometimes if a person like don't believe, I can't even get it out. I just like stutter. I can't even get it out. But if somebody like they're like really upbeat and happy and stuff, and like they got a good positive belief, energy, it'll just flow. It just you just want to talk. But if they stale and stuff, Nah. It's like miracles don't happen until you like believe and be in a good attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But yep. That's all I got right now. That's all I got. Unless you want to talk about something else, I think it was okay. I think it was pretty good. I think the point. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, today is the 91st day. The day is the 91st day. You know, the Enoch calendar. The sun mounts today. That's why outside it was so hot. I'm not hot. It was bright. It was so bright. Um, I know Noah, you said the clouds was in the way and stuff. So I saw it. I saw it. It was very bright. So tomorrow is the first day of Ramadan.
All right.
You know, every year, like when do we hear the thunder? Do we hear the thunder the first day, or do we hear the thunder um the first couple of days? Because every year it'd be thunder at the same time. We noticed that.
Right. It's usually within those first few days. There's thunder.
Like the night of power.
Oh, I'm not sure. I
We'll
it's
find
just
out.
kind of noticing, but I'm not sure exact date. But I know usually we hear thunder within the first few days. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and it had,
Thunder happen tomorrow. That's gonna be crazy.
well, I mean, it's like consistent. I mean, the month happens the same every year. So,
Yeah, but every year it like thunder the same day. Like that's weird. Every like year.
right.
I mean, the last 2 years it thunder. I noticed that it thunder the same day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that was like clockwork. But we'll see. We ain't worried about no thunder. But yep. So it's pretty good. Just try Ramadan coming in. Try to give to the poor. If you can't do the fast, it's best to do fasting. That's what the Quran say. But if you just can't do it, make sure you feed people, man. Feed some people.
Yes, sir.
If you can't do it, feed some people.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right, I'm done. If you're done,
All right.
no. Any questions in the chat? Any questions? Questions? Cause we about to be up out of here. Questions. So I think it's gonna be. I think studying those church fathers and those letters they wrote. I think it's gonna open up a flood of just truth. It's gonna be crazy because
The
yeah.
the original church fathers, the original Christian church fathers.
Well, they ain't my fathers, but the
Oh,
Roman Christians' father. They're not my fathers.
okay.
I'm with Smyrna and all them. That's what I'm with. The
Gotcha.
Galileans. That's what I'm with.
Right. But like I
Galileans.
say, it's interesting how it came about, how the whole thing came about. See how it, kind of
Mhm.
morphed into what we see now.
Yeah, they literally took it over. Like literally,
Hmm.
it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not even
Right.
close to it. They eating the bread and drinking the wine. That's called the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see
And where
Smyrna.
they got that from, that
They,
wasn't even, they didn't never see Issa doing anything like that.
oh, but they doing it,
Interesting.
and the world accepted. Oh, that's Christianity. That's just crazy, man. That Shaitan to come in and take over, boy. Good Lord.
Yes, sir.
You got to be prayed up. He will come in and just sniff that junk, while you
Yeah.
bold. All right. All right. I am done.
All right.
Thank you all for listening. Nora, thank you so much. Your reading is beautiful, beautiful voice. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
you so.
welcome.
All right. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.